How are things at the Turbo Tuesday brand gulag?
Not good. We had an escapee
An
today.
escapee! Impossible! We made that gulag out of the finest bricks money could buy! There was a worldwide monarch shortage when we were done!
I'm just as confused as you.
What?
I said I'm just as confused as
No, I'm
you.
sorry, I can't hear anything under these hat flaps. Who broke out?
ARMITYLE, sir.
ARMITYLE. Hold tight. I'll take care of this one myself. Good afternoon, proletariat! Welcome to Turbo Tuesday. Here at MBT Industries, we are constantly innovating our way to the Yugist revolution. Now, the working duelists of the world can't be led by just anyone, so before we can begin disassembling the oppressive metagame, we need to locate the boss to end all bosses, combing through 20 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! History in the process. As always, we'll give every fledgling leader of the Vanguard a quick once-over, a chance to prove themselves, and a performance review that will determine if they'll be called back to the next round of interviews, or if they'll need some effect adjustment at our re-education facility. Today's candidate was a pain to track down, but no boss is free from the dictatorship of the Yugitariat. Presenting ARMITYLE the Chaos Phantom, Phantom of Fury. Before we check out today's corporate stooge, however, a word about our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck, the best online site for database searching, deck building, and strategy articles, all conveniently located at www.ygoprodeck.com. Now, let's take a look at that resume. Uriel, Lord of Searing Flames, Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, and Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. This card's name becomes ARMITYLE the Chaos Phantasm while on the field. Once per turn, you can give control of this card to your opponent. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card's control changed this turn, banish all cards you control? Then this card's owner can special summon one ARMITYLE the Chaos Phantasm from their extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Well, now I see how you got past our security. This is a noticeable upgrade. Sacred Beasts certainly lacked the ability to clean up boards in the past. Their best monster being an Unga Bunga Bungus didn't help things, and we can still take advantage of the one-card setups we used for ARMITYLE using Dimension Fusion and Verte Anaconda. At worst, it's a strict upgrade over our previous attempts, and at best, it's an equalizer that'll let us hedge a huge board full of beefcakes against whatever our opponent has left. We'll put you back with the Sacred Beast build we know is playable, but you'll have to bring your little brothers Raviel and Uriel with you, and I won't hear another word about it. So with that, let's send our leader to the Edo Pro ladder. So it's time for Phantom of Fury to prove himself. We'll be playing against Prankid, and ever since the release of their Link One, these children have been nothing but disrespectful. Time to show this youth revolution who's boss. Our opponent's going first. We can't exactly ARMITYLE with nothing to banish. They'll go from Lampsies into a copy of Meow Meow. They'll then get a copy of Fancies from deck, and then link summon a copy of Doodle Doe, adding a Pandemonium to hand. They'll special summon a copy of Roxy's from deck before activating Polymerization, making a Rocket Ride. This will trigger both the graveyard effect of Roxy's and the graveyard effect of Dropsies. They're aiming to get 2 Dropsies on their side of the field by the end of this turn, and they'll do it right now by activating the effect of Rocket Ride to summon back a copy of Dropsies and a Lampsies. They'll activate the effect of Doodle Doe to put a couple of cards back in their hand before link summoning a Bow Wow Bark, making Totally Awesome, setting Pranks, 2 cards, and passing turn. Okay, this is going to be rough. They have the quick effect Regeki, so we have to play around that. We'll lead with a copy of Infinite Impermanence on this Totally Awesome. It will, of course, fetch the Toad. They will take the Infinite Impermanence, but we won't have to worry about it until next turn. Next, we'll activate 7 Spirit Gates to get a copy of, surprisingly, Dark Beckoning Beast. We'll go for its effect. They'll chain Bow Wow Wow, getting a couple of cards to hand and allowing us to get Dark Beckoning. We'll normal summon a copy of Chaos Summoning before making this copy of Almirage, putting a Fiend in graveyard so we can tag into Beckoning and get a Uria. Next, we'll add a copy of Raviel to hand, and we have to get a little bit lucky here. Thankfully, we do. We'll activate Skyfire and go to Verte Anaconda. Unfortunately, our opponent does not blink, so bluff called. We'll have to hard activate the fusion. They'll go into Battle Butler, but we'll go into the big boy himself. Now, unfortunately, our opponent does have access to a quick effect Raigeki, but unfortunately for our opponent, our monster isn't going to be affected while Fallen Paradise is on the field. We'll give them ARMITYLE and then pass turn, banishing their entire board and getting us a big Chungus. Its attack is reduced to 0 for our turn, but I'm not too beat up about it. Our opponent's going to go from Fancies into Meow Meow, once again activating the effective place as well. They're going to get a Lampsies and link summon a copy of Doodle Doe for the second turn in a row. That's going to get them a copy of Pranks. Next, they're going to special summon a copy of Dropsies from deck and go into Unicorn. Wait, Oh no, they can't target our monster, but access codes certainly can... Uh-oh, did someone forget to put Linkuriboh in the extra deck? Well, with no access code, I'm feeling very good about the outcome of this duel. For turn, we draw a copy of Foolish Burial and... Oh, watch this. We'll activate Fallen Paradise, we'll get Ash Blossomed in the process, we'll activate this copy of Foolish Burial, sending from deck to graveyard a copy of Dark Beckoning, we'll use its effect to get a copy of Hamon to hand, and then, via its own condition, we'll summon Hamon. This is lethal until my opponent banishes 12 cards for this copy of the Trap in the graveyard. They draw an infip for turn. They'll go from Roxy's into Meow Meow for the third turn in a row. They'll trigger the effect of Pranks and get a copy of Fancies from deck. Next, for the third turn in a row, again, they'll go into a Doodle Doe, getting a Pandemonium. They'll summon a copy of Dropsies from deck before activating Pandemonium to make Rocket Ride. This is going to trigger the effect of Rocket Ride and place and Dropsies, giving them 1,000 life points and summoning a Lampsies from deck. They'll attack directly for 15, but that is not enough. They'll activate the effect of Rocket Ride and summon back a couple of Prank Kids as well. They'll activate the effect of Doodle Doe to put a bunch of cards back into their hand, activate place they have not yet this turn, and pass turn. They'll activate Prankset and Step, and we could do it based on the draws. For turn, we draw an Allure. And folks, it's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that, baby! We'll go ahead and activate 7 Spirit Gates, and oh my god, are we gonna do this twice? We'll activate Dark Beckoning Beast to get a copy of Hamon to hand. We'll activate 7 Spirit Gates to get another continuous spell. We'll set 2 of them, and then tribute 3 for a second Hamon via its own condition! We'll do 2,000 natively by virtue of the Hamon attacks, and then direct for 9,000! Well, we're back. And just how did ARMITYLE 2 perform? Let's check out our super scientific metrics above. I'm giving this evil evenly a 2 in terms of consistency. There's about 1,000 one-card setups, but you're likely blind seconding if you want to see anything but a confused glare from your opponent, and by that point, nothing's guaranteed to resolve. I'm giving this purple enemy of the proletariat a 1 in terms of investment. You're going to need to play, at minimum, 3 cards that you have nearly no way of summoning. I'm giving Nebula Neos' nephew a 2 in terms of payoff. It's got an extremely potent effect, but your opponent will fire everything on their field to keep you from resolving it. By the time you banish their board, there's not going to be anything left worth banishing. That said, my final verdict is... a return to your cell for ARMITYLE. Jillian! This time, seal them away with the most powerful bricks imaginable. Pure Garnentium.